Now that we're in the series finale, here's a quick recap of the last episodes of the entire series. Grace and the Greenleaf family must lay the past to rest once and for all as God's plan for the future unfolds. So, hey guys, it's Tutu here. On this week's episode of Greenleaf, today's the series finale, guys. So, in honor of the series finale of the entire show, I decided to make this a bit of a special. So, this is just going to be, me talking about why I loved all my favorite scenes from the series finale episode a couple days ago. And so, I know I usually talk about the pros and the cons, but today's going to be a bit different since this is a special, and I'm going to be talking a lot about the series finale and the show entirely, too, a little bit. So, let's get into it. So, now that we've cleared that out of the way, I'm going to be talking about my favorite scenes and only why I love these scenes. No negativity whatsoever. Since this is a special, I wanted to stay positive considering the episode was very sad. So I just wanted to share why it was my favorite scene and know why it wasn't my favorite scene. None of that. Just only why I loved it with all my favorite scenes. No negativity, because the episode really got to all of us. So I thought today on this special of mine, of the series finale of Greenleaf, I thought, hey, why not just make it all about positivity? Talk about why I loved it and no hate whatsoever, no negativity on it, since the episode was already kind of negative already in a lot of ways. So, let's just get into it now, shall we? My first favorite scene was the scene when the family had to bury Bishop. And some of you might ask, why was that your favorite scene? So, it was my favorite scene because I had to appreciate how realistic they were to do that, to show them actually putting a casket into the ground of someone. I had to give them props for that because personally, I thought they were going to do a time jump. I thought maybe a few months later, the whole family is okay, they moved on, they're doing their own things. I thought that's what was going to happen, but didn't. So I really had to appreciate that in the sense that, oh wow, they didn't sugarcoat the death. They didn't say, oh, Bishop died, then a few months later they buried him. They didn't do that time jump. So I have to appreciate them trying to be very realistic in the fake death of a TV show that they were trying to portray. So that's why it was my favorite scene, and that's why I loved it. My second favorite scene was the scene when AJ got saved in the church. Oh, man. I knew they were going to do that. The way his storyline was heading, I knew eventually he was going to get saved. And I love that scene so much because in the last episode prior to the series finale, Bishop talked to AJ and AJ really listened. And so for him to get baptized in the church and, finding that peace in himself, becoming a new person, finding a peace in himself, finding a peace within his past, loving his past enough to let it go, doing all of that just to become a new person again, is very, very, very lovely. And I was like, yes, I loved it. I thought that was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, I loved it. I thought it was great. Fantastic. My third favorite scene was the scene when AJ was talking to Grace when they were coming out of Noah's new house. AJ was talking to Grace and be like, so, hey mom, when am I going to meet this Darius guy that you're talking about, that you're talking on the phone with? And, I need to meet him. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this the AJ that we've been all waiting for the past, almost 2 seasons? Is this the AJ we've been waiting for? And he was just like, yeah, I want to meet this guy. I want to make sure Darius is right for you, Mom. And Grace was just like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, do you think I'm not going to approve? Like, I need to get to know him, talk with him, get to, like, film him out, make sure he's right from my mama. I was like, go, AJ. I was so happy. I was like, yes, go, do it. I was like, okay, AJ. Look at AJ being a protective son to Grace. So cute. That was what we've been waiting for. So that's why I loved that scene. All right. My fourth favorite scene was the scene when Grace and Darius were My fourth favorite scene was the scene with Darius and Grace when Darius was trying to convince Grace to go to New York and stuff, and Grace didn't want to go. But I love that scene because Grace chooses Darius, which I knew she was going to choose Darius. Like, it was just so obvious that she was going to end up with Darius. Like, I said it. I said if she had to end up with anyone, it would be Darius. And she did. So that's why I love the scene. The second reason why I loved it was the fact that, Darius was like, it's time for you to start a new life. Like, you did everything you were supposed to do. You came home, you saved your family, you got justice for your sister Faith. Your kids are grown. Your son AJ is a grown man. Your daughter's about to go to college. Like, there's nothing else here that's holding you back. There's nothing else. You've saved the church. You've done everything. There's nothing else that's holding you back. You came back to do what you were supposed to do. So now there's really nothing holding you back. And then the thing that made me love the scene even more, when Darius was like, if you go to New York, I will accompany you. And Grace was so shocked. Grace was like, you would go with me to New York? He's like, no, I didn't say that. I said I would accompany you to New York. Find out what's there for me. Find out what they have for me in New York, and we'll go from there. And Grace's face lit up like a Christmas tree. She was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, you actually said that. And that made her feel so good to know that Darius is willing to stop his life in Memphis and come join Grace in New York. So I was like, I hope we see these two get married in the spinoff. I mean, if it becomes about Grace again, I would love to see that, because that would be amazing. Now, my fifth favorite scene was when Lady May doesn't want Grace to leave. So basically, Lady May comes into the room and tells her mom, it's time for me to go. And Lady May, I've never seen Lady May like that before. Lady May was like, not now, Grace. I need you here. We all need you here. Not now when your father is gone, this and that. And I love that scene because, like, who would have ever thought, Grace and Lady May would, be friends? Who would have ever thought that Lady May and Grace would have such an amazing relationship in the end of the entire series? So that's why I love that scene. Nobody would have thought that. So for that to actually happen. My second favorite scene between Lady May and Grace was when Lady May thanked Grace. And I wrote it down. What Lady May said to Grace before she left was, thank you for sewing the corpse within my field of peace. Oh, well, no, sorry. Thank you for sewing the corpse within the field of my peace. Thank you for sewing the corpse within the field of my peace, that we needed it. And Grace was like, now I don't want to go. And basically Lady May saying that line that she said in the beginning of the show was to let Grace know, like, that's when you know you need to go. Like, you've done your time. You've done what you were supposed to do. You did your job. You've done the work. Now, there's nothing stopping you here. There's nothing stopping you here. Go live your life. You've done everything. You've done everything that you wanted to do. So go and live your life. And I love the fact that Lady Mae was like, you don't have to stay here anymore, Grace. You don't. You did everything you were supposed to do. So now it's time for you to live your life. And we will be okay here. God will protect us. God will guide us. And I love that scene. I love the fact that Lady Mae was like, I understand. You need to find yourself. So go ahead and do it. Make a new life. Make a new destiny. Be happy again. And I loved it. Now, my sixth and final favorite scene of the entire series was when Carissa finally surrendered and accepted the fact that, you know, her and Jacob divorcing is their happy ending. I love that scene when Carissa finally told Jacob, like, I know it doesn't seem like it right now, but us separating and getting a divorce, you know, is our happy ending, will be our happy ending, is going to be our happy ending. And I love that she finally accepted the fact that, you know, this is their happy ending and that they're going to be happy in the end of all of this, and it's going to be better for everyone, including themselves. So I love that she finally accepted that, even though it was hard for her to. She finally did it and, you know, gave Jacob custody. And so those are all my 6 favorite scenes from Greenleaf of the series finale. So entirely, now I just want to talk about the show entirely, like a quick, you know, conversation about that. I really loved the show. I really loved how every milestone from season 1 to season 5 was so different. I love how so many characters changed. I loved how so many characters grew in the person that they've always wanted to be. I just loved everything. I loved that they talked about real topics in real life situations. I love how everyone had their own issues, but were able to overcome it. And it really makes you feel stronger when you watch a show like that. It really does. It really does make you feel stronger and more whole. And I honestly just want to say thank you to Greenleaf. Like, after watching that, I really learned that, you know, things happen. Secrets come out that you never thought would come out. You learn that, you know, there are always going to be people out there that have their own journey, and you don't know how you're going to come out through the other side, but you keep taking the baby steps and you keep learning. And yeah, I just really want to thank Greenleaf. I mean, watching that show really made me tap into my own inner personal demons too, in a lot of ways, in terms of, you know, family relationship, friend relationships. You know, it really made me tap into personal relationships of my own, you know, life, and also tap into my internal self-being of myself, to really tap into my own self-youth and a lot of that. So I really had to thank Greenleaf, because there's not a lot of shows like that. You don't see a Black family doing so well. You never really see a Black family doing so well. So for them to show that, you know, yes, we're a Black family, but we're also doing pretty okay. Like, you know, we're still humans too, but all you could see is the disguise. All you guys can see in the disguise, but we know the truth behind the disguise. And so I really want to thank Greenleaf for that again. Also, coming soon, I'm going to be talking about the spinoff, you know, because as we know, there's going to be a spinoff of basically the continuation of Greenleaf, but probably entirely different, but still reflecting Greenleaf. So I'm going to talk about that very soon in an upcoming video, just strictly about, you know, what I think I would love to see, and you know how I would love to see that portrayed very well if we're going to still trying to save the legacy of Greenleaf. So that video is going to be coming out soon in, I would say, maybe a couple days or so. I'm not really sure, but I'll definitely, you know, post it. So I would love for you guys to love this video, subscribe, and follow my YouTube channel. So subscribe, ring that notification, like, you know, even if you dislike, that's okay too. It gives me an idea of what people want to see. And yeah, please share your thoughts down below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you want to direct me, DM me personally, follow me at Recaps with Tutu on Instagram. That is Recaps with Tutu on Instagram, no capital letters. You can DM me about what you would love to see me talk about too, with Recaps with Tutu on Instagram. Or you can comment down below what you would want me to see on my YouTube channel too. That still works. And soon I'm going to be setting up an email for you to email me too, directly, to tell me what you guys want to hear and what you guys want to see. So yeah, so I love you guys. That's it, y'all. Have a nice day. Bye.